G'day there and welcome back to the $100,000 to $1 million challenge. Well, it's been a long time in between videos, but in this video I take a look back on the first years of the challenge, and also we're going to do a small Doge giveaway as a thank you to some of you who have followed over the last 2 years, and also to welcome in the final year of the challenge. Please note that the information contained in this video is not financial advice and is purely for entertainment purposes. All trades that I take are logged in the Discord channel, and if you're keen for somewhere to talk crypto and financial freedom, then hop into the Discord and join in the conversation. So in today's video, looking back the last 2 years of the challenge, the good, the bad, the lessons that have been learnt, I'll then take a look at the market overall and bring up to date with all the buys and sells since the last video, which was quite a while ago. Now in terms of this Doge giveaway, I just thought, it's a new year. It's the final year of the challenge. Why not? Let's just see what happens. So you must be a member of the Discord to be eligible. You can submit one entry per Discord user, and you should have an accompanying YouTube account. I've written here my decision is final, just in case if there's anything strange that happens in terms of timestamps of comments or anything like that. Let's just see how it goes. The first 5 successful entries win 50 Doge. The next 25 win 20 Doge. There's going to be 2 steps to enter. The first step is go to the Discord announcements channel, and you'll need to find your code word. The link to the Discord is in the video's description below. What's step 2? It's somewhere in the remainder of this video. I'll tell you what step 2 is, so keep watching. So in terms of the good, so on the right here is the first year, the winners, and on the left here is over 2 years, the largest winners of the challenge so far. So looking on the left hand side, we've got Bitcoin. I bought 1 Bitcoin and it's done really well, obviously. In hindsight, would have been nice to buy more, but at least I picked up 1 and I'm happy about that. ETH, it's been struggling relative to some of the really high performers, but still it's my second biggest winner, so I'm happy about that. I'm happy that I spent all that time fighting for good entries. Paid, obviously, has done really well. And then going down here, Maple, Beam, Say, Phantom, and PEAQ. Just going to take a look at a couple of them. We'll look at Beam, Phantom, and PEAQ. So in terms of Beam, so to begin with over here, bought in just under 1 cent quite early on. Heard good things about it. Got in, bought some more, which is nice. Moved up to just under 1.8 cents and took profit. Then the market was doing pretty well, so rebought at 2 cents, and then some exits here at 4 cents and 4.2 cents, which is really doing very well because I'm right here in these wicks up here. So overall, I've established a free position on Beam and we're up 6,000. Really happy with that. Phantom, something that I've been bullish on this whole cycle. The chart has told me it's been really something to pick up. I've done a lot of activity on it, and at this point in time have a free position and 3,365 wherever Phantom takes us for the rest of the cycle. It's just going to be profits, which is good news. You can see most recently took some profits at $1.15, $1.27 just because we were really getting up here, and it's been a big retrace since. So it's always good practice when we've got a bit of a big move here and the market's really not following through. Good time to take some profits. Now in terms of IDOs, it's been mixed bag. Some really good performers, plenty of horrible performers. PEAQ, I wasn't 100% sure how it was going to go, so I put in 3.5k. 3.5k. I got in. I had to pay a fee on this, so I got in. I think just under 9 cents, I believe. Got my TG allocation here and sold at 51 cents, and then got my next allocation a couple of weeks ago and sold at 62.5 cents. So pretty happy with that, and because I put in 3.5, I've more than got back my initial, and I'm up about $3,000. And the good news is I still have 28,000 PEAQ to come. So let's say at a price of 50 cents, that's 14,000 still to vest. So that's good news. Okay, in terms of the bad, so it has been, certainly Bitcoin has helped a lot, and offsetting that has been a lot of really poor performers. In fact, nothing over here on the right hand side, which was the losers from the first 12 months of the challenge. They're all gone. They've all been superseded by these larger losers over here on the left hand side. CDFI has been a big loser for me, over 10k. Well, what can you even say here? VIRTU, Libra, just some huge losers. Celestia, NetTensor, Mint Layer, Pocket Network, and Multibit, the Bitcoin Layer 2 bridge. Real strugglers. A bit of a bigger look at CDFI first. So I did test the waters here $1 and got out. Was really happy with my buy back in October of 2023 down here at 63 cents. Was very happy with that. Sorry, down here, October 2023. Didn't do a great job here buying at 361 on this retrace. Would have been nicer to stay away from that, but I went ahead and did it because I wanted to get tier 6 at the time. This here is some staking rewards for staking for 9 months, 814 CDFI, and then I've been active here buying another 15,000, or including those staking rewards, to get up to tier 7. And price, you can see now, is struggling with testing the bottom end of this range again. I am really counting on $1 being key support worst case, and you can see here that it's a reasonably nice chart. All I can do at this point is hope, and I have conviction in it, so I've gone big in it. If I look at this, I've put in over $40,000 into it, hoping that we have some move up to at least, at a worst, test this local high here at around $5, and then hopefully to test even higher up, but we shall see. VIRTU Cloud, oh dear. So I put in 5k into this, and currently that 5k is worth about $10. Now they did do a whole rebrand. They got rid of this token. You had to do a swap. I missed the window to swap, so at this point in time it's just a 5k write-off for me, and sometimes that's how it goes. Libra Finance, another one which had so much promise, it really did, and I put 5k into it. Now, in terms of the holdings that I have right now, I have tried to withdraw all of my Libra that's on the platform, and so that's currently going through a vesting process. In about 3 months' time, I'll have access to that. I did have a stake in terms of an LP pool in Libra of 50-50 pool of Ethereum and Libra. I can't withdraw that. The smart contract's broken. Kind of sums up the project. The Discord's dead. There's just nothing happening in there, and you can't win them all. And unfortunately, I was pretty bullish on Libra, but it's done really poorly, and there's just nothing to say here other than there's nothing to do. It's a loss. Looking at some lessons for these first 2 years. Number one is to market buy when necessary to avoid sideliners regret. Now, I had this in my previous video from a year ago, and even though I've got this pin up on my wall, once things start to take off, I still got back into it was written there, it's on my wall, it's highlighted, but I still got back into the old habits of wait for it to dip, wait for it to dip, wait for a correction. But when things are really hot, they don't correct, and you just have to market buy. And now I'm on some names, I have been able to get back in, thankfully, because the market didn't take off. But on others, I'm still fighting right now for good entries. And so it is easier as a lesson, and I will follow it, to market buy when necessary, to avoid just being on the sideline. Now, number two, it's different strokes for different folks. And for me, you can see with my VIRTU Cloud, with Libra, with a lot of these micro caps where I've gone big, they haven't paid off. They haven't paid off for me. I know a lot of other people, they can do really well with these micro caps, but for me, it's just not working for me. So what I need to do is, rule 2 is I'm going to avoid new micro caps that are not incubated. By incubated, I mean they don't come through a VC, they don't come through CDFI, they don't come through something with good backing, because when these things come out on a DEX and they've got like a buy and sell tax, I just don't do well with them, and I've seen the evidence of that in this challenge so far. Now, why do I say continue with things like CDFIs? Because they have a refund on all of their launches, and so far things that haven't performed, I have got a refund, but things that have performed, there's enough time to just let them play out. And so it's not going to work for everybody, but that's what I'm going to go with for step 2. And the third point is this challenge still possible? 100k to 1 million. Looking at this chart, this is the last 12 months where it's pretty much been the same. Nothing's happened. We were at 214 12 months ago. We're at about 223 now. Went up to about, now it doesn't show it on here, but there was a day where I got to about 360. Down here, got down to about 140. So, very volatile. Is $1 million still possible? It's not impossible, but I have to be realistic as well. To go from 223 to 1 million, which is almost, it's over a 4x, almost a 5x. That's tough in 12 months. That's really tough to do. It's going to take some monumental gains to happen in this crypto. I mean, what can you even say? That's just a huge number, and so I've got to be realistic. Whatever the market's willing to give me, I'm willing to take. If it's $1 million, incredible. If it's not, that's okay too. And I'm going to fight for my entries. I'm going to do all I can to do the best I can with the knowledge that I have and the time that I have. And it's not impossible, but I have to be realistic at the same time. Okay, so we've got a market outlook here on Bitcoin. So coming back to the previous cycle top here is when Powell went super hawkish, and we have this massive sell-off here for Bitcoin. Then we've got a nice bottom, nice inverse head and shoulders. Over here we've got Fink saying, hey, I'm going to put forward a spot Bitcoin ETF, and glad that I got my Bitcoin down here at 30k. Moved up, had a massive consolidation until Trump came through with the election, and then here we've got Powell a bit more dovish. I should say more hawkish again. So he's back again, and a little concerning. Now, at least rates are not getting raised, but the pace of rate reductions is not what was anticipated. So some questions here. Now, in terms of all I can hope for is, we've had a huge move up here. This is gigantic move up here. Here's the moving averages on the weekly. Could we retrace to 73k and test the top of this range, or 70k? Yeah, absolutely we could. And that's kind of what we've seen in previous bull markets. Big shakeouts, get people really scared, get rid of the weak hands. I'm not sure. I mean, best case for me, I think at this point in time, is we just kind of, if we could consolidate here, that would be perfect. Let these moving averages move up, let these oscillators cool down a little bit, get a good consolidation, and then move up again. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. Now, what would back that up would be the spot Bitcoin ETF flows. So if we look historically, and especially look at these last 2.5, 3 months, incredible, right? Just inflow after inflow after inflow. And so because we have these huge inflows, if you look like at my previous videos where I look at the gold ETF chart, that's what I'm hoping for. So hopefully we get consolidation here, cooling off, and then take off again. How about ETH? Here we've got Powell putting in the top, very hawkish. Here we've got Fink coming up with a proposal for Ethereum ETF. Get a big move up, get through 4k. Then we've got Barry Silbert, of course, with the Grayscale. Grayscale needs to unwind. Here's the unwind. In my previous video, I talked about this is what I would expect. Once it launches, we're going to have to come back down because Grayscale has to unwind their trust. Here it comes. Now, largely, kind of a bit of an equilibrium has formed here. We've got some consolidation, move up. Here's Powell back again with his hawkish sentiment. And on the oscillators, we're pretty overstretched. Best case, here's a nice consolidation. Now, what's nice about this chart is here's the 200 week slow moving average. If you look at the Bitcoin chart, you have something similar. This used to be really good support. It kind of went a bit weird there, but it's still reasonable. Whereas on ETH, so far it's been very nice support. So that gives me a lot of confidence, as well as just the overall bottoming structure of this chart over a long period of time, that I'm still confident in it. I'm still holding on. There's nothing that changes in my plans and in my outlook for Ethereum, other than just hoping that 8K plus at the end of this cycle will happen. What else is helping that? These Ethereum spot ETF flows. Again, it's just been a lot of inflows, a little bit of profit taking here, but still looks really good. Now, talking about the buys and sells since my last video. So on Certified, there's been a lot of RTOs, probably too many to talk about. Some have done really well. That's why I moved up from tier 6 to T7. Happy enough with that. Just will continue with that. In terms of other IDOs that I've done, Cookie has gone pretty well. That's at about a 9x right now. We'll look at the chart in a moment. This is my lovely coin, which I was a bit skeptical on, but at this point in time, it's done about a 7x. PEAQ, it's done about a 6x. That's done really well. We talked about that before. Here are some of my losers. VDT, Data Object Protocol, that was just horrible. This is a DJ and Distillery, has done really poorly. And in terms of just market buys, Certify, we talked about that before. Been trying to pick up some more paid. ATA 0.095, picked that up. In fact, sold it as well, because it went really well. Should have written that in here in the sells. I've missed that, but I've got a free position established on ATA. Asta, still something that I'm really confident in. Picked it up at 6 cents. Layer AI, I've been chasing this for a long time, and finally picked some up at 1.2 cents and picked up some Prime at $10. Here are some of the airdrops that have come through since the last video. Eigenlayer, Aether, and Carve. I have their nodes, and so I'm getting airdrops for those. Jupiter, because I've been voting sporadically on their governance votes, I've been getting some airdrops of Drop token. Swell was part of my staking of Ethereum. Atom and Tier, I've been staking. They've been paying out some airdrops here and there. Circuit is something else that I had staked in terms of staking Ethereum, and that's been some of the airdrops I've received for that. And in terms of, I had all my Libra staked, and I've been getting Libra for that, and that's currently going through the vesting process. In terms of sells, all of my Swell and Circuit, I sold all of it. Phantom, Wild World, took some profits on them because they had some huge moves. Data Object Protocol, just one of the worst I've done. Got rid of it all. Had to take profits on my Lively Coin, PEAQ, and Cookie, just because they've done really well. Speaking of Cookie, just looking back at one of the better deals that I've been able to get into. I wasn't sure about this when it got proposed to me. In fact, what happened is there was a Superman video, if you can believe it, of all people, Superman, who talked about it. I did all my due diligence, but he kind of said that if all the narratives come together, it could do really well in terms of like 100x really well, which kind of just gave me a little bit more confidence. And so I had to pay a little bit more than 2.6 cents. I paid about 2.9 cents, I think, to get this. I had no limit as to how much I could buy, but I put in 2.5k just to be safe, not to overexpose myself. And at this point in time, it's 26 cents, so that's over a 9x. It's just good. It's really happy with this. I have vesting every month, and in 12 days' time, there'll be another 10,000 Cookie, which, if it held this price, debatable, but if it held this price, that'd be like over 2.6k. That'd more than pay for my initials, the 2.5k that I put into it. So really happy with that. And it's, at this point in time, it's the go-to, or one of the go-to dashboards for people looking into the latest in AI agent data. And so hopefully this continues. Now, Layer AI, I put in 5k to pick this up at just over 12 cents. So just the bottom of the range here. I'm very happy with this. This is a nice chart. Looks like it's bottoming. Hoping here that after this bottoming process, we get a retest of this 8 cent region, and then hopefully they deliver. AI narrative continues to do well, and we take off here. And that's why I've gotten a bit bigger than I usually would on this position. Okay, so for step 2 of this 750 Doge giveaway, on this video, just make a comment with, tell me what your Discord username is, tell me what your code word is, and you'll get the code word from the announcements channel in the Discord, and tell me your Doge wallet address. First 5 successful comments, 50 Doge, and the next 25 will be 20 Doge. Okay, so looking at the portfolio today, $223,080. Just quickly going through this: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Beam, Layer AI, Pay. They've all done well. Certify hasn't done well. Fingers crossed it picks itself up. What have we got over here? Say, Astar, Prime, Phantom, ATA, and Eigenlayer. They've all done well. Cosmos picked that up at about $10. Hasn't done well. Down here, the Graph and Aether, both doing okay, not great, not terrible. Hoping they do better. Over here, Wilder World and Jup, both done really well. I mean, not the Jup price is incredible, but it's an airdrop, so what can I say? Immutable, Sovereign, Carve, Subquery, they're all largely free positions. They're doing okay. Hopefully they do better. Filecoin, it's been a poor performer, and Celestia has been a poor performer. Illuvium, really a poor performer. Really, at this point, I'm just hoping that this off-the-grid launch, which is meant to happen in this quarter, does really well and lifts all gaming. If that is the case, I'll be able to offload some of my gaming bags, which haven't been doing particularly well. Moving right along, Agents AI was a Certify launch. This is a free position. I have more to come in a couple months' time, so that's good. Crown, at least I've done well profitability-wise, but the price has been pretty poor. And things that I've just lost a lot on over the last 12 months, so Marseille, Mint Layer, Libra, Multibit, Pocket Network, Savum, Wisdomize. And the last page, NetTensor, oh dear, Virtual Cloud, oh dear. Things that have done well, these are Otto and One Hub AI launches from Certify. Otto, I think I've got everything I'm going to get. One Hub AI, I think I'll get a little bit more coming. And Win Token was an airdrop from quite a while ago. And so that brings us to the end of the video. I'm aiming to be back in a few weeks' time, so until then, let's always be looking for an edge. Take care until next time, and thanks for watching the $100,000 to $1 million challenge.